Star Trek Section 31, a movie that nobody wanted, a movie that we said was going to be trash because it's written in the STD universe, which is also trash. So if Star Trek Discovery is really bad, anything spin off of it most likely would be as well. I see a lot of people calling this a disappointment. It was a disappointment when it was announced. This is not a disappointment. This is an expected pile of trash, as we've said here on this show. Now, we're obviously everybody's like, we're going to watch it just to see. Well, of course, you can do that usually, but we knew this would be trash. All right? It's just trash. Star Trek is dead at this point. Um, Strange New Worlds almost does it for me, but not. It's not. It's so sickening what they do on Strange New Worlds with Spock and some of the other stuff. Strange New Worlds is close, like in a way. It's the closest thing sort of to Star Trek. But I would argue that even Lower Decks is better because at least Lower Decks is a cartoon joke, so whatever. But yeah, it's so bad. Picard seasons 1 and 2 are trash. Picard season 3 is arguably really good. I like Picard season 3 a lot. I think Terry Matalas did a good job. I'd probably give that an overall 7.5 out of 10. Maybe even higher because I really like it. But everything else Star Trek has been terrible. And this is the abomination that we expected it to be. I mean, for the first time, all of the Star Trek fans are coming together to agree that this is a big piece of trash. Whether you like Star Trek Discovery, most people didn't, but there is a core group of people that do like it. Those people hate this. Old Trek fans hate this. New Trek fans hate this. The only people that like this have to be people with the brain stem of a broken dolphin. I don't know who could like this. It's terrible, and there's nothing else to say. I'm embarrassed for anybody that watched it. I didn't. This is the first time since season 4 of Discovery that I said I'm not watching this. I am not even watching it. I love Star Trek so much that I would even watch stuff I really don't like to see if maybe there's something I could like in it. And I stopped Discovery season 3. I stopped. I said I can't do this anymore. I'm physically ill. In Picard season 2, I stopped as well and said I'm like I feel like I hate I'm sorry to be this dramatic and some people are going to find this offensive, but I feel like I'm just going to tell you how I'm just going to be honest with you. I've never been raped, but and obviously nothing can be compared to that, because it's a horrific thing that can happen to somebody that you would know nothing about, especially as a guy. But although technically I was once, but I'm a guy, so it's more like it was funny. But I guess if I was a girl, I'd probably be like a crime. But anyway, the bottom line is I really don't fully know what it feels like to be really violated when you don't want to be. But the closest thing to rape that's ever happened to me is watching the current day Star Trek because I love Star Trek so much. It means so much to me. And growing up as a kid watching it and seeing it all the way up till 2005, watching Star Trek Discovery and even some of Strange New Worlds, and certainly the many other things recently that Star Trek has done, it feels like I'm being violated. It feels like I'm watching my mother be violated. It feels like everything pure and happy that made you smile as a kid was being just molested in front of you and then torched into flames and sent straight to hell. I hate myself. I hate life. The world feels bleak, and I feel like the world might be ending. It's so weird because Star Trek used to make you feel like the world is endless possibilities. And I love the world and I love myself and man, I want to be in space. I wish I knew these Star Trek people. I could do something like this. Now Star Trek makes me feel like the end of the world is and a dystopian place where I don't belong. Everything I knew was wrong, and we are dumb. I wish that I was 21 years old because I feel like a lot of what I am saying right now would be similar, but at least I would be younger. But now being, wow, this sweatshirt really makes me look gigantic. This is a gigantic sweatshirt. It's like really big Carhartt. Anyway, um, I feel like I'm an old man yelling at clouds now, even though am I middle aged? I can't even believe that. I feel like I'm still 28, but I'm not 28 anymore. I'm 40. I'm literally as old as Jean-Luc Picard in season 5 of Star Trek The Next Generation. That's crazy to me. That's wild. Shields up. Shove this sword up my ass, Commander. I don't even know what to say to you guys right now. My microphone's broken. Look at that. $300 headset broken. I can barely afford to make my payments to my house at this point. I'm working like 3 jobs, and it's irritating that people in Hollywood, people are making money making this stuff. Somebody is rich because of these things. That's crazy to me. Like, can I write some Star Trek? Can I be hired to write some Star Trek? Because this is crazy. Seth MacFarlane could write Star Trek amazing, and you'd have like a hit. The only reason the Orville doesn't do better is because it's the Orville. It's a brand new thing that had to launch on its own. It bumps some of the Star Trek audience, but also a lot of people that aren't, Star Trek didn't really get into it. So it's one of those limbo things. But if Seth MacFarlane had written everything he did in the Orville, but more Star Trek-y, obviously because it would have been Star Trek and less comedic, it would have, oh my God, it would be so good. It would be the best thing going on the network. For sure. It would be higher than Strange New Worlds. It just would be. But he's not working there because they told him no. No, we're going to go hire Brian Fuller, some psychopath nutcase who wants to have all this weird agenda shit and ruin Star Trek and make it a dystopian, sad, stupid place. In Star Trek Discovery, people are stupid moron people. It's funny because when I watch the next generation and I watch Star Trek Enterprise, I think to myself, man, these people are smart and they're so good to each other and they're so open-minded and empathetic and smart and just like I want to be like that. I really am going to try to be like that. I want to be more like that cuz I'm not like that. They're much more perfect than me, but I feel like I'm being a better person from watching these characters. Whereas in Star Trek Discovery, I watch these people and I think these people are retard people, and this kind of reminds me of me, but I think I'm smarter than them. And that makes me angry. I'm like I hate myself because this is what we're like, I feel like, but they're dumber. How are they dumber than me? And then I laugh at it. And I think these people are like children, stupid people. And anyway, the moral of this video is at the end of Star Trek Picard season 3, I was feeling all kinds of ways. But at the end of this past year, after seeing the Star Trek that's been out, I feel depressed, sad, and violated. And I'm not kidding. You can make fun, you can joke about it all you want, or be mad, or oh, it's not funny. Well, you know what? That's how I feel. So you can't tell me how I feel. I'm going to tell you how I feel. And if you don't like the way I feel, I don't know what to say about you. I feel like I want to be captain of my own starship, and I want to set a course for Vulcan. And I want to go to the planet Vulcan, and I want to allow 1,000 Vulcans to neck pinch me to death until I'm paralyzed in pain, and I roll around on the ground, and then finally I roll into a deep volcano where I burn up and die. That's what I want to happen to me. I wish I could write Star Trek. I wish Terry Matalas could write Star Trek. I wish Seth MacFarlane could write Star Trek. I wish Brandon Braga would come back. I wish Brandon Braga and Rick Berman would be commissioned to write a 2-part Star Trek show, 2-part Star Trek movie. How about that? Did you ever think of that, Paramount? Skydance Paramount? I don't care if Rick Berman is retired. Go dial up Brandon Braga, and my microphone's broken. That's great. I'm never gonna get another one. Go dial up Brandon Braga, and how about the other guy? Who's he writes lots of stuff now. He's probably can't do it because he's got a million other things going on. But go grab a couple of those classic guys. Grab Seth MacFarlane. They're friends already. So he writes on the Orville. Brandon Braga writes on the Orville with Seth MacFarlane. Go grab those guys. Maybe throw Rick Berman in for like input. Maybe he's not a writer or whatever, but he's a consultant on it. And go make a 2-part little short series, a 3-hour special or a 2-hour special, 2-parter about something Star Trek. And you talk about, like, imagine the advertising, Legends of Star Trek return for this special event, blah, 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 Captain Janeway. Like, Janeway's in it, Picard's in it for a second. There's some other characters you see here or there. And whatever. And make a Star Trek story. I mean, just what are we watching right now? What are we seeing coming out? Nobody wanted Section 31. Nobody wants Starfleet Academy. But, like, dude, the people that they're rolling out for Starfleet Academy is crazy. All right, I guess I better get out of here because my headset's broken and I'm rambling on and on. And I want to be positive, but I'm destroyed inside. And I guess Star Trek is now dystopian stupid as opposed to optimism, logic, the human condition, the success of the future, the exploration, the partnerships, the fun. It's all gone. Now it's just, I shoot things, bang, sexy. Later, Star Trek Late Night, soon to be dead.